Hey, Falcons fans! Today we've got some essential updates on injuries, practice strategies, and trade news. But before diving in, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you never miss a thing. Let's start with the latest on practice changes this week. Head coach Raheem Morris made a shift in the schedule as the Falcons prepare for their big NFC South showdown against the New Orleans Saints. Instead of the usual full-speed practice, Morris opted for a lighter, walk-through style session on Wednesday to keep players fresh, especially with key players like Drake London and Grady Jarrett dealing with injuries. Morris shared that this more relaxed approach helps keep the team sharp mentally while giving those recovering players a chance to participate. On the injury front, Morris gave us some cautiously optimistic news. Drake London suffered a hip injury during the Cowboys game and had to leave early. Grady Jarrett also exited later with an Achilles injury. When asked about their progress, Morris sounded hopeful, but admitted it's a day-to-day situation. He plans to assess their status further in a regular practice on Thursday, so stay tuned for the full injury report soon. Now on to the trade deadline, or rather, the lack of action. Leading up to it, there were plenty of rumors about the Falcons making a big move, especially to boost our pass rush. Atlanta has recorded just 9 sacks this season, the lowest in the NFL, so there's a real need for reinforcements if we want a strong playoff run. But as of Tuesday's deadline, no trades were made. General Manager Terry Fontenot had some discussions, but nothing serious materialized. Coach Morris said he feels confident in the current roster, and with the deadline behind us, it's all about moving forward with the team we have. This week's game against the Saints will be intense. The Saints recently fired head coach Dennis Allen and appointed special teams coordinator Darren Rizzi as interim head coach. Coach Morris knows this change will fire up the Saints, making them a more united and motivated team. When a coach gets fired, the urgency in the building certainly increases from ownership all the way down, Morris said, emphasizing that the Falcons need to be ready for an energized Saints team. At 6-3, the Falcons hold a comfortable lead in the NFC South, but a road win against the Saints would solidify their control. For Morris, the game plan is clear. Stay focused, keep players fresh, and maintain the momentum. So, Falcons fans, what do you think? Were you hoping for a big trade move, or do you trust the team we have? And how do you feel about the new approach to practice, with injuries like London's and Jarrett's on the line? Now let's switch gears to a hot topic, Kirk Cousins' MVP case. That's right. There's a growing argument that Cousins deserves serious MVP consideration this season. Let's dive into the numbers. Last season, the Falcons ranked 22nd in passing yards and 26th in passing touchdowns. Fast forward to this season, and with Cousins at the helm, the offense looks like a whole new force. Right now, Cousins is third in the NFL in passing yards, with 2,328, and tied for fourth in touchdowns with 17, putting him in elite company alongside Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson. All right, Falcons fans, let's talk MVP odds. Right now, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are the favorites, both with odds at plus 300, and Patrick Mahomes is close behind at plus 450. Meanwhile, Kirk Cousins is sitting way back at plus 2,500, which seems like a big gap considering his impact this season. Let's break down the stats and see how Cousins really stacks up. Josh Allen has been outstanding, racking up 2,001 passing yards, 17 touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions. He's also contributed on the ground with solid rushing stats. Lamar Jackson, another dual threat, has posted 2,379 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions, and 505 rushing yards. Mahomes has led the undefeated Chiefs, but his numbers, 1,942 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions, show he's not as consistent as usual this year. Jared Goff and Jaden Daniels are putting up good numbers, but Cousins' efficiency and consistency, especially with his supporting cast, make him a standout. In October alone, Cousins averaged 311 yards per game and had a stellar touchdown-to-interception ratio. Compare that to Goff, who averaged only 227 yards per game. So why should Cousins get more recognition? For starters, he's been the driving force behind the Falcons' transformation. Atlanta stands at 6-3, almost matching their total wins from all of 2023. For a team that hasn't had more than 7 wins since 2017, that's a huge leap, and Cousins' leadership is a big reason why. When you think MVP, you want someone who truly defines their team, and that's Cousins for Atlanta. Even compared to Jalen Hurts and his high MVP odds, Cousins stands out. Yes, the Eagles are 7-2, but Hurts benefits from a powerhouse offense and defense. Cousins, on the other hand, has elevated a Falcons team once considered in rebuilding mode, bringing them into serious playoff contention. There's also an underdog element here that makes Cousins' MVP case so compelling. He's a strong candidate for Comeback Player of the Year, too. At 36, he's leading a team many thought was bound for a rebuild, and now, instead of looking at top draft picks, the Falcons are in the playoff conversation. Unlike past MVPs like Mahomes and Jackson, who had stacked teams, Cousins took a struggling franchise and turned them into a competitor. If the MVP award truly recognizes the most valuable player, Cousins belongs in this conversation. While MVP voting often favors quarterbacks from top teams, Cousins' numbers and the Falcons' turnaround make his value undeniable. He might not have Lamar Jackson's rushing yards, but his steady leadership and strong play are keeping the Falcons in every game. So, Falcons fans, what do you think? Should Kirk Cousins be in the MVP discussion this year? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit like if you enjoyed this analysis, and subscribe for all your Falcons updates. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, go Falcons.